Assalamu alaikum. And hello YouTubers. Pro 2 is here. Today, I want to share with you guys a problem with this AC unit. I show you what the problem is. The temperature in the car is around 31 degrees Celsius. Switch on the AC unit. As you can see, the temperature remains the same, unchanged. Let's turn off the engine and open the hood. Having your car's air conditioning go out suddenly can ruin your day. A car air conditioner can stop working for different reasons. Inspecting your car AC yourself before having it repaired can save on cost. The first step is inspect the AC fuses. For Proton Weira, the fuse box for the AC unit is here. Pull the black box off and you will see two fuses and the two relays. The two fuse and relays for the AC fan and for AC magnetic clutch. Let's check the fuse. Remove the fuse from its holder by using a pliers. Look at the fuse wire. If there is a visible gap, then the fuse is blown and needs to be replaced. This is an example if the fuse breaks. Let's check another fuse. Both fuses are still in good condition. Besides the visual check, the other way to check the fuse is using a multimeter. Set the multimeter in continuity mode. Place one probe on one end of the fuse and the other probe on the other end. If the multimeter beeps, this means that the fuse is in good condition. Next step, we will check the relay. Turn the key and switch to standby mode. No need to start the engine. Then turn on the AC. Now, the AC fan is running. Disconnect the relay fan. And put the compressor relay in the relay fan. The fan is running. That means both relays are still in good condition. Next step, we will check the magnetic clutch. The compressor is driven by the drive belt from the crank pulley of the engine. If the compressor is activated each time the engine is started, this causes too much load to the engine. And here is the role of the magnetic clutch. The magnetic clutch transmits the power from the engine to the compressor and activates it when the air conditioning is switched on. Also, it cuts off the power from the engine to the compressor when the air conditioning is switched off. This is the AC switch. The function of this AC switch is to energize the magnetic and then pull the drive plate to circulate refrigerant through the air conditioner system. I will pull and put the AC switch back 2 or 3 times, just want to hear if the magnetic making any sound. There a click sound, but I don't see any movement from the drive plate. And I suspect this magnetic or the drive plate has a problem. This is an example of a working magnetic clutch. You will see some movement there. The energized clutch coil creates a magnetic field and pulling the drive plate inward. When the current flow is stopped, the magnetic field ceases and the drive plate free of the pulley, allowing it to freewheel again. Apparently, we have found the problem here. The drive plate damper are burning. Looks like it's melted. In this video, we only focus on finding the problem in this AC unit, and try to find a solution so that the same problem will not recur. I will make another video on how to change the magnetic clutch without removing the compressor. What causes this magnetic clutch to burn and melt? The magnetic clutch failure can be caused by heat or overheating. Clutch slipping specifically refers to a situation that occurs when the drive plate fails to lock together properly with the pulley. The pulley will then tend to drag and slip against the drive plate surface. This dragging and slipping results in intense friction and heat. This tremendous amount of heat will quickly melt down the bearing seal and the drive plate. The bearing loses its grease, and in the process, before it locks up completely, it gets rough and noisy. As the slipping continues, the heat causes deformation of the drive plate. In the case of rubber armature, clutch slipping may lead to melting of the rubber damper and can result in a subsequent failure of the entire clutch mechanism. Watch and listen in this video. You can hear clearly the friction sound between the pulley and the drive plate. A damaged bearing will cause the pulley to rotate tilted from its original state. The pulley will rotate and rub against the compressor drive plate, and the friction will generate heat. The pulley also will rub against the coil, transferring heat to the coil face, thus burning the potting compound and winding. Rough bearings can be felt when holding the armature hub stationary and rotating the pulley. A leaking compressor also can cause magnetic clutch failure. This may occur if the seal on the compressor shaft leaks compressor oil, and it finds its way into the pulley and the bearing, causing it to be less effective. The oil may contaminate the pulley and causing the drive plate to slip. Clutch slipping may lead to melting of the rubber damper and can result in a subsequent failure of the entire clutch mechanism. But, for this case, the main problem is, the bearing pulley is already damaged, causing friction to occur, and heat is generated, damaging the rubber components of the drive plate damper. Coincidentally, I still keep the old magnetic clutch set. So, I will replace this magnetic clutch set with the old stock that I still have. I have done some test for the magnets using a multimeter. A normal readings magnets that are still in good condition is around 3 to 5 ohms. I also test the magnet using a small 12-volt battery. The positive wire is connected to the positive terminal, and the ground wire to the negative terminal. Switch on the switch. The result? Yes. This magnet is still in good condition. There are 2 bolts on the pulley side of the compressor. Remove the AC belting and remove mounting bolts for the compressor. Set a block or brick or something hard in your rear wheel both of your tire. Park your car on a hard, flat surface and start jack up your car. Use hydraulic floor jack to lift your vehicle. But care must be taken to ensure your safety, especially if you're working under the car. Every vehicles have their own points along the body where the vehicle is designed to put your jack stand. Make sure to place your jack stand at your vehicle's pinch points to keep them from slipping. Remove the left side tire and place it under the vehicle for extra safety. To remove the clutch plate, you'll need a little bit of space to work. You will probably need to loosen the passenger side wheel wall shield for better access. There are 3 bolts that hold the compressor in. They are all located on the side of the compressor that is towards the back of the car. Most of the bolts can be accessed from the bottom of the car. Since the pulley and clutch are completely separate from the internals of the compressor, there is no need to evacuate the system or disconnect the line set. By removing these bolts, I was able to move the compressor lower enough to slide the pulley off while still keeping all the lines and hoses intact. Once you have some working space, tilt the compressor so the pulley faces outside of the vehicle and down a little bit. There is one bolt that holds the clutch plate on. The pulley is held in place with a circlip. Remove it by using a snap ring pliers and set it aside for reuse. Take off the pulley. Some of them maybe need a jaw puller to pull this off. Remove the magnetic coil circlip and pull the coil off. Beginning by install the stator or magnetic compartment on the compressor. Align the dowel pin on the back of the clutch field coil with the hole in the compressor front cover. Position the clutch coil onto the compressor. Using snap ring pliers, fit the snap ring so that the snap ring's tapered part is on the outside. Install the pulley onto the front of the compressor. Be certain that the snap ring is fully and properly seated in the groove. If the snap ring is not fully seated in the groove, it will vibrate out, resulting in a clutch failure and severe damage to the compressor front cover. Position the AC compressor in the engine bay and loosely install the 3 compressor retaining bolts. Install the clutch plate onto the compressor shaft. Tighten the screw bolts using the following sequence. Torque the screw bolt to 25 Newton meters. Be certain that the clutch coil wire harness leads are properly oriented and routed so that they are not pinched between the compressor front cover and the clutch coil. Install the compressor drive belt to the pulleys. Adjust the belt by tightening the adjusting bearing assist pulley. Connect the AC wire harness. Packing around all the wire harness and tie it with cable tie. Double checks all the work we done before. Make sure the AC belting sits in its place. Check the AC wire harness and make sure the wire harness is not in contact with other components, especially moving components such as the AC pulleys. And lastly, check the tension on the belt. There should be no more than 1/2 to 1 inch of give. Let's start the engine. I will use this old stock only for temporarily. Changing with new magnetic clutch is my target after this. So far, so good. And this is the difference between the new magnetic clutch set and the old one. You can hear it clearly. The pulley bearing is making a bit of noise sound. It's make rough sound each time the clutch tries to engage or disengage. Let's look at the temperature in the vehicle. 15 degrees Celsius. Yes. My AC is back to normal. Turn off the engine and continue to finish the job. Reinstall the passenger side wall shield. 2 screw bolts here, 12 mm. Under it, there are 3 screw bolt, 12 mm. Reinstall the front tire. Raise your vehicle using hydraulic floor jack and pull out the jack stand. Slowly lower your vehicle and roll your jack out from under your vehicle. Finally, tighten the lug nuts in a star-shaped pattern. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you like this video, please hit the like button below, share it with your friends and please be sure to subscribe. May the force be with you. Bye for now. Use this information at your own risk. Any injury, damage, or loss that may result from improper use of any tools and equipment, or from the information contained in this video, the user must take responsibility. If you think this video helpful for you, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Enjoy cautiously and good luck. Pro2 DIY.